Hey guys, it's Melissa here with Rooted Home and Garden. Today I'm standing next to my beautiful Wilma Goldcrest Lemon Cypress. This is a slow-growing dwarf conifer that's famous for its chartreuse color. Look how vibrant it is. This plant is zone 7 to 11, which means it loves our heat. So in my 9B zone, this plant thrives in full sun. Even though it loves the heat, it is very delicate when it comes to frost. So if you live in an area where it does get frost, and quite often, you do want to do something to the roots to protect it, especially if it's in a pot like mine. Mine is in a pot right here on the patio where it gets 6+ hours of full sun a day, and it is thriving here. A really cool thing about this plant is as you touch it, you get a scent of lemon. I didn't even know that before. I was planting this a couple of weeks ago, and all of a sudden I get this fragrance of citrus in the air, and I thought, what is that? I had no idea it was this plant, and sure enough, it was this plant. Because of its citrus fragrance, it also is deer resistant and pest resistant as well. Deer and pests don't like the fragrance smell at all. This is a slow growing conifer, so it only grows up to 6 inches per year, growing anywhere between 6 to 8 feet tall and 1 to 2 feet wide, perfect for containers or small gardens. Now, these plants actually thrive on being neglected, and what I mean by neglected is the less you do with this plant, the better. It needs to be watered regularly, but it doesn't want soggy feet. It also doesn't like to be dried out completely. If it does dry out too long, what will end up happening is needles are just going to start dropping quickly. Make sure you water it, but don't overwater it. Just give it consistent watering, and it will hopefully rebound quickly. The more sun this plant gets, the more chartreuse it will get. The more shade it gets, the more lime green it will become. So depending on your location and what color you're trying to achieve in your garden, that's where you want to place this plant. Now, you may be concerned putting this plant in a pot. Well, I'm here to assure you that this is such a slow growing plant that it actually does quite well in pots. In fact, it will do well in a pot for a good 3 to 5 years before you have to do something about it. Whether that is to shave off some of the roots or put it into a bigger pot, you just want to keep an eye on it, and it should do very well for a very long time. If this plant gets the amount of sun that it needs to thrive, this will grow into a nice column habit with nice dense leaves growing thick around the stem. But if it gets too much shade, it's going to start looking a little scraggly because the tree is going to be reaching for the sun. If your plant is in a pot like mine, you want to really make sure that it is draining well. If it's not draining and it gets soggy and you start to notice a smell in the soil, you need to transplant the plant immediately because you don't want the plant to die. Boggy soil is not good for any plant. I hope this encourages you to try this plant out. I am loving this plant on my patio. I think it looks absolutely beautiful. Thanks guys. See you next time.